Dear, oh dear, oh dear, we're live. What's up, guys? Should be live anyway. I think I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. How you guys doing? Impromptu. Thought I'd go live. Just watched the football. Went exactly how I expected, to be honest with you. So not too disappointed. Is what it is. We've been shit all tournament. That bum Southgate, still our manager, fluked his way to a final, another final. And yeah, we got beat by the better team, you know. Negative tactics is what it is. Boxing this weekend, not too much to write home about. Boots Ennis defeating David Avanesian. Pretty one-sided fight. Avanesian gave it a go. But yeah, Boots Ennis was way too big, way too strong, way too fast, way too young, way too fresh. And that fight really was a one-sided beatdown. The size difference in that bout was crazy. But, you know, Boots did his thing, and we'll see where he goes from here. The thing I have with Boots is you look at him, and I don't think we'll ever find out how good this guy is at welterweight. Number one, there's nobody at welterweight. And number two, he outsizes the division so much. He's so much bigger than everybody else. So I don't think he can really prove himself at welterweight. I think we'll see how good Boots Ennis is when he starts going through the weight classes. There's a lot of options at 154. But yeah, you know, we'll see with Boots. He's talented, but there's still a fair way to go, I would say. I'd still be a little cautious, but I see the excitement. Bro, it never comes home. It never comes home. I'm not surprised, though. So for me, this time around, far easier to take than the Italy game. Because for me, the Italy Euros final, I don't think we did enough in that one at all. I think that game was winnable. I think Spain are just a better side than us, personally. I didn't expect us to win. So I'm not as disappointed by this one, to be honest with you. Nowhere near as disappointed. I was furious for days after the Italy one. I was furious. But this one, not so much. But at the same time, the manager, Gareth Southgate, bro, negative, uninspiring. He's got the charisma of a damp rag. Everything wrong with this country. We celebrate losers in this country. And Gareth Southgate, oh, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Gareth Southgate is the poster boy of what a loser is, man. He's the poster boy. He needs to go. We need a serious manager. No worries. It's no big deal, man. Mexico's way worse. Yeah, you guys went out for Copa America quite early this year, right? I've not really been paying much attention to the Copa America. I'd like Colombia to win it personally, but I don't think they will. Argentina always find a way. They always find a way. Get rid of Southgate, I agree. Yeah, it'll never come home. I agree, Brandon. I agree. Congrats to Spain. And thank God I deleted social media because I have a Spanish friend. I look like a fraud. Now, Spain were the better team, man. Spain were the better team. He's always in the gym training. Yeah, we know. They fight once a year. Well, they should be fucking training, right? If they're fighting once a year, they should be keeping sharp. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't many fights this weekend, were there? Janibek was supposed to fight. He fucking blew the weight and ended up in hospital. So what his future holds, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I rate Janibek in terms of talent and skills, but I'm getting bored of him already. I'm getting bored of him. He doesn't do it for me like Golovkin did. Again, boring, dull, uninspired. If you can't make weight, fuck off. Not interested. You're a unified champion. Come on, man. 1 o'clock UK time, Drunk Irishman. 1 o'clock UK time, I think. Yeah, Ennis needs to go to 54. There's better fights for him at 54. Virgil Ortiz, the Crawford Madrimov winner, Sebastian Fundora, Tim Zhu. There's much better fights there at 154. Much better fights. So yeah, I don't think we'll find out anything about Jaron Ennis at welterweight. Because there's nobody... Look at welterweight right now. Who's there? I think Mario Barrios is a champion, is he not? Or he's going to be a champion. Brian Norman is going to be a champion, for God's sake. You know, the only fight I'd like to see Boots Ennis take at 147 is Conor Benn, just because I want to see Conor Benn get fucking leveled. Aside from that, there's no fights at 147 for Boots that make sense unless Crawford comes back down. None of those fights help him. None of those fights build his resume, in my opinion, nor build his credibility. Boots is a very talented guy. I wouldn't want him to kind of fuck around and waste his time at welterweight. The only exception being is if he goes through the division real quick, like in a 12-month span, fight after fight after fight, super activity, and just collects these belts. Fair enough, do that, but I don't want to see this guy sticking around for 2 years in a dead division. Yeah, man, fair enough. If he wants to unify, fair enough, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sold on welterweight. My Spanish friend is from Sevilla. I need to visit Spain soon. Yeah, I've been to Spain a couple of times. Spain's a nice country. The Spain-England match reminded me of Tito versus Oscar fight and Sergio Martinez versus Pavlik. Well, the Palmer thing, like the fact that Cole Palmer hasn't started a game all tournament is a disgrace. He's one of our best players technically. Probably would have lasted a couple more rounds. And one thing about Cody Crowley, Lee, is he's big. He's a big welterweight. He's a strong guy. But you know, I'm not gonna cuss out Avanesian. He came in there on 4 weeks' notice. I felt he gave it a go. He got beat up. It was what it was. You know, he landed the overhand right, but he could never really make it count. Boots was just way too big, man. Way too big, way too strong. Kane's been shocking all tournament. But to be honest, Mark, this is an unpopular opinion. So obviously we've been glazed with the whole Jude Bellingham hype for a while now. I don't watch Real Madrid. But every time I've watched Real Madrid, Bellingham's all-round game has never impressed me. I don't think he's technically that astute. I don't think he's that great on the ball. He's okay. He's a good athlete. He's strong. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but Jude Bellingham is not this generational player that people make out. What he does, he masks bad performances by scoring a clutch goal. That's what he does. He masks bad performances by scoring clutch goals. And that's a skill. Don't get me wrong, that's a skill, but I don't think he's on that level, personally. I would have sacrificed him for like Palmer. Palmer's a much better technical boxer. Sorry, technical footballer. I talk about boxing too much. What's up, Certified Church Classic? How you doing? Oh, Vladimir Klitschko would end Badia Hari. Badia Hari was a great kickboxer back in the day. But he was asking about kickboxers that could transition. I'm not really sure who could transition from kickboxing. I don't know the scene now. I don't know the scene now when it comes to kickboxing. Bro, that is a big thing out in this country, Brandon Blanco. A lot of people don't understand if you don't live here. The give it a go mentality. We promote losers in this country, but the thing about this country as well that's very, very sad is in life, if somebody is successful, so let's say they could come from a shit background, but as soon as they get successful, there's people around them who are waiting to stab them in the back. People don't like seeing people do well in this country. And that's why there's that loser mentality. People like losers in this country. But as soon as somebody does well, you know, they try to tear them down. That's a big problem in this country. This country doesn't celebrate like achievement at all. You know, watched the game with my mates, had a good time. However, we bottled it as usual. Who do you think can replace Southgate? It's a great question. I would go continental, personally. I would go with somebody continental, maybe a European manager. Failing that, if we could get the Newcastle manager, Eddie Howe, maybe him. Yeah, he was a very, very good kickboxer. Yeah, Rico's also a great kickboxer. He's still active right now, right? Yeah, it's like crabs in the bucket mentality. Yeah, there's that problem in the UK, and it's always been around. It's always been around. Can't disagree about Bellingham, to be honest. Southgate has to go. He's clueless, yeah. Bellingham reminds me of, I don't know, he's a great athlete, but I don't think he's a great technical footballer. He can do the odd bit of skill here and there, but I don't think he's a great footballer. I'm not saying I wouldn't have him in the squad or anything like that, but I don't think he's as good as people make out. And I think eventually the Madrid bubble will burst. Because once those Madrid fans start seeing through you, they boo you. Yeah, I never really got why people had Bellingham as a nailed-on starter as a 10, to be honest. Just doesn't have the creativity or the vision for me. I totally agree, Jiho. I totally agree. I'd have put Palmer in that 10 role. Or Foden. Put Foden in his real position. You know, put Foden in that 10 role or Palmer, and maybe have, like, I don't know, fucking even Gordon out on the left. Try something different. Yeah, I think he'll be good, bro. He's going to have a very good career. I'm not saying he's a bad player. What I'm saying is, you saw a generational talent in Yamal, Lamine Yamal. That's a generational talent. A guy like Pedri is a generational talent. Technical players who are the best way of seeing who's a good footballer is see how they react when they receive the ball when they have no space. That's the best way to judge a footballer, especially in the final third. Madison's a good player, but I don't think his form warranted it. I think we had the players in Palmer and Foden, but we misused Foden and we didn't use Palmer enough. Conor Benn is wasting away. What's his plan? Well, I'm assuming he's still trying to beat the case. This is another one. Apology. Declan Rice. We'll go there as well. Harry Kane's been poor, obviously. I don't need to talk about Kane. But Declan Rice, for me, has shown how far football's fallen. Because 10 years ago, we had a guy called Michael Carrick who played a similar role to Declan Rice. And Michael Carrick couldn't get a kick in the England team. Michael Carrick is levels above Declan Rice. He's so much better than Declan Rice will ever be. Declan Rice is a sideways pass merchant. He's slow. He gets caught out of possession. He's carried by better players at Arsenal. He ain't that good. He's a good player, but he's not world class in that role. He's not. We overhype too many players in this country. The disappointing thing about this tournament is that we had so much talent on the bench and barely used it. Cost us in the end, yeah. And that bum manager, Southgate, man, terrorist football is what he played. Fucking terrorist football. It wasn't even ISIS football, by the way. It was fucking Boko Haram football. Awful. Yeah, Carrick was a very good player. Carrick was a very good player. Yeah, it's a lot more. Football's a lot more formulaic now, Lee. There's less players who express themselves and have fun with it. Honestly, I would have started Kane. Sorry, I would have started maybe Tony over Kane. I don't see that as a bad take. Kane seems to have got worse since he's gone to Germany. I'm definitely biased as a Spurs fan, but James McLean was spot on with his assessment of Rice. There's no way that guy's worth 100 million. No way. Yeah, we played shit football the whole way through. Yeah, exactly. Had a very easy knockout phase and made it look hard. I was rooting for England, but a final was undeserved and not a true reflection of the squad. I agree. I think you benched good players. Yeah, bro. If we faced like Germany or even France prior to the final, we wouldn't have got that far. Southgate is going to quit, but will it ever come home? Not for a while. Not for a while. Is Kane poor or just not a runner? He's never been a runner, but I think he has slowed down since he's gone to Germany. He's done well in Germany, but That league is... He's got so many great players around him. Southgate should be in prison. He's a fucking terrorist manager. I'm telling you. He's a fucking terrorist manager. Would have started Foden and Palmer, but Southgate needs to go tonight. I don't blame Kane. He was isolated a lot of the time, yeah. There's that as well. And the only caveat I'll add is I genuinely expected us to lose to Spain. I think Southgate could have been more positive. I still think we would have lost, to be honest. I still think we would have lost. I think Spain are just a better team. Yeah, if Reece James is fit, I think now Walker's 34, I would take him as right back. To be honest, though, I actually felt Kyle Walker wasn't bad tonight. I don't think he was bad. Maybe for that last goal, could he have got across a bit more? I don't know about it. I don't think he was that bad, Kyle Walker. And I'm a Man United fan. He's been criticised throughout the tournament, but I felt he was okay today, Kyle Walker. Bro, yeah, Spain were the best team easily, Will. Easily. And Germany, it's funny because I felt the two best teams after the groups were Germany and Spain, and they played each other when quarterfinals. Michael Nunn in today's 160 division, bro. He would beat everybody probably. 6'1" at 147, a weight bully. Yeah, definitely. Not throwing shade at you, but the turnaround from the England and the media was horrible. Southgate went from fire him to knight him in over a week. Shit's bizarre. I've always been Southgate out, Mike. Well, I've been Southgate out from the Italy game, the Italy final last time. Because for me, he took us far enough. He took us as far as he could get. I felt that was his ceiling. I think at that point, he could have left and said he's done a good job. He can still leave now and say he's done a good job in comparison to most other managers. But I think he's overstayed his welcome, personally. Southgate looks like a you-know-who. Say no more. Say less. I wouldn't... bro, we need to leave it with Johnny Fisher. He's a strong kid, but he's very much a novice. No, I've not seen it, bro. Hand history vault. I heard he looked quite good, though, considering. I've heard he looked quite good. I agree, Will. I don't think Bellingham was great. Southgate might be the Deontay Wilder of managers. No. I wouldn't go that far. Because he can't hide and not fight top competition or play top competition. So let's face it, we've never had a better chance to win than the last two Euros. Italy in a final at home, and the path to the final in this one won't get a better chance than this for a while. Yes, sir, I agree. I think it was the last one that was really the kicker for me, because I think that's the one we should have won, personally. Again, I felt we was always up against it against Spain, considering how they've played. Yeah, our left-hand side throughout the whole tournament was awful. G-man. So maybe Rashford as an option. I mean, he may as well have taken Rashford because he never gave Gordon a go. A few UK channels saying that Johnny Fisher beats Wilder. Wilder's dusted, yeah. Wilder's dusted, but let's not be silly. Let's not be silly. Johnny Fisher is, like I said, a strong kid. Seems like he's got an okay punch, but that's all we know about him. He knocked out a blown-up cruiserweight and people are going mad. Bro, I heard so much glazing over fucking Johnny Fisher. So much glazing. Best English player this tournament? I'd say the Crystal Palace centre-back, Mark Guehi. I'd say he's been the best player we've had, to be honest. I felt he's had a good tournament. Aside from that, Kind of struggling, really. Yeah, I hope Colombia win it, Seagar. I hope Colombia win it. Someone different, but I think Argentina are going to get the job done. You would think so anyway. Ben Whittaker, I'm not that high on him, to be honest. He's one of those fighters who he looks very flashy. He's quick and whatnot. He's a showboater, but bro, I don't really see the substance there, to be honest with you. I don't see the substance there with Ben Whittaker. And I don't think he's a big puncher either. At light heavyweight, man, right now they need to move him slowly. Yazibek Muljanov is a very good heavyweight prospect from Uzbekistan. I've never heard of him. Is he pro, Adia? Is he pro? You need to register to vote. Yeah, I don't think he'll make it to the top either. A top fighter will knock him out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, Johnny Fisher needs a lot of work. Johnny Fisher needs a lot of work, a lot of seasoning. Thoughts on USA soccer and how bad they are, bro? I'm still furious at my team. I can't talk about the USA's. Yeah, I think Boots to me is a very exciting fighter. I think he's very talented. The only thing I was saying earlier, I don't think we're going to find out how good Boots is until he moves up, because welterweight right now is dead. I don't see the competition there for him, to be honest. Plus, he's a lot bigger than those guys as well. He's better and he's bigger. I don't see where the competition lies at welterweight. I want to see what he does at 54. I think that's when we're really going to find out how good Boots is. But the eye test, man, the hand speed, the combinations, how he goes through the gears is all really good. Does get caught a bit in the pocket. He kind of waits in the pocket too much at times. Kind of hangs around too long. Sometimes he admires his work and he gets clipped. But the guys at 147 can't really capitalize on it because they're smaller. But at 54, you've got punchers like Virgil, guys like that. So we'll see when he goes to 54. I think then we'll find exactly how good he is. Heck of a title for this stream. Bro, it's been a crazy weekend, man. It's been a crazy weekend. He's another big stiff idiot. Yeah, it's true. What, that fucking Johnny Fisher? Yeah. Again, he's another one of Eddie Hearn's creations that appeals to the lowest common denominator. His fat fucking father going on social media talking about what his Chinese order is. Fucking slob. Honestly, his father makes me fucking sick. The fact that guy has got a profile on social media. Gluttony, man. Gluttony is a sin. This guy's being celebrated. Trump's got a granite chin, facts. England are the first nation to lose back-to-back Euro finals. Setting records. Bro, Trump's reaction time, low-key, is better than fucking Joe Joyce's. He might be the worst. He's not even a trainer either, his dad. He's just kind of piggybacking off his son. He's piggybacking. Yeah, it's been a crazy 20 hours, man. It's been a crazy 20 hours. I feel like it's been a weekend, but I don't feel like I've had one. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like I've had one. I need a couple more days off. Yeah, and there's obviously the winner of Crawford, Madrimov as well. So I think that's when we're going to find out how good Boots is. It's at 54. I don't think the competition is there at 47 now. Because if you look at it, who's there? Fucking Brian Norman, Mario Barrios. I don't think these fights really prove anything for Boots Ennis. Yeah, he can unify a title. That's a good look, but I don't think it really gives us a gauge on how good this guy is. I think 54 does. So I'd rather see him go to 54 sooner rather than later. I don't want to see this guy stick around in a dead division for too long. You know, welterweight needs a reset, to be honest. Yeah, Josh Warrington's dad is a bit of a state. But to be fair to him, he's actually had good success as a trainer Obviously did a good job with his son, but also with Maxie Hughes, who was basically like an English level fighter, and he got him pretty far. Yeah, Pac is too small and too old. Manny Pacquiao needs to leave it alone, in my opinion. Manny Pacquiao needs to leave it alone. Even against Mario Barrios now, man, it's a hard fight. His last fight was really good against that fucking what's his name? Was it Giovanni Santillan? Whatever his name was. That was a good fight. He looked good. He looked decent enough, but I don't think he's anything special. I haven't seen it. I refuse to watch Tevin Farmer. I refuse to watch him. Muratala, he's kind of a hot and cold fighter. I've seen him a couple of times, and he looks really destructive. I've seen him on other occasions where he looks cumbersome, basic, and slow and crude. So Muratala, I don't really rate him that highly, to be honest, anyway. They'll fatten him up. He'll maybe get a Mando shot and lose. Okay, clinch fest. Okay, not surprised. No, I don't think so. I don't think Bozy Ennis has had experience with heavyweights. Heavyweights, correct? Who's more of a boring fighter, Farmer or Shakur? Shakur, I would say. Just because Farmer's not relevant. Yeah, there's Crazy Ryan. Crazy Ryan could go to 147 as well. Yeah, middleweight. Middleweight right now might be the worst division in boxing. It's fucking awful. Janibek can't even make weight anymore. Middleweight's a joke, honestly. Middleweight is a joke. 286. Who's the champions right now? Janibek's got 2 titles. Adames has 1. And Lara has the other. A 41-year-old Lara. That goes to show the state of that division. Yeah, he might have a glass chin. He may do. Yeah, Junto's fighting soon, right? That's in a week or two, isn't it? Is it not? Yeah, I think Junto should win that fight. He's fighting the guy who beat Rigondeaux. I think Stevenson could beat Tank. Yeah, I can see it. Tank hates southpaws, and Stevenson will stink out the joint. Tell you what, man, I'll be all team Tank on that fight. I'm not gonna lie. You guys know I'm not the biggest Tank fan in the world, but I'd much rather Tank win that fight. I'd like to see Tank put that guy's head in Rosette bars. To be honest. Ryan's making a run at the UFC. I doubt it, man. I doubt it. Yeah, 6 foot is crazy for welterweight, yeah. If Shiraz can't dominate 160, he needs to call it quits. Well, he's in a good position now because he's mandatory for the WBO. Janibek holds that title. Who knows what's going to happen from here because he missed weight in his last fight. He couldn't make weight. Went to hospital. So maybe that title becomes vacant. Maybe Hamza fights for the vacant title. That could happen. Really? That's got to be bollocks. Ryan Garcia fighting UFC. Are you serious? That's got to be nonsense. Yeah, and I don't think Janibek can make weight XMB. Maybe he can't make weight anymore. So we'll see what happens with Janibek. Yeah, this is one of the most surprising fights, guys, Grant and Wiestek. Martin Bakole versus Jaron Anderson. That seems like a sink or swim type fight. I do wonder whether Top Rank are getting fed up with Anderson. You know, his kind of outbursts and things like that, his kind of wishy-washy performances. Maybe they're just like pushing him in there now and seeing how he gets on, throwing him in the deep end against a dangerous heavyweight. I've got a weird feeling he's going to get exposed in that fight. I've got a feeling he's going to get exposed. Yeah, it's Eddie Hearnbo, isn't it? You expect him to say it. Yeah, Tank versus Loma still a live fight, even though Tank is lame for taking it now. Yeah, 100%. I've got Catterall again, to be honest, BNK. I think the time is gone for Josh Taylor. I think he's done. Big baby for me, I rate Jared Anderson. I've got a feeling, I've just got a feeling that Bakole is going to be too big, too strong. He's got good punch output. He works the body really well. He can collapse the pocket. If Anderson can't hurt Bakole, he might be in trouble. He might be in trouble. He might get like proper manhandled. Okay, you think Anderson's going to make a statement? Okay. I'll be impressed if he does, I'll be honest. Morello Benavidez, that's a great fight. That's a great fight. Ooh, Morello Benavidez. I think Morel's a better boxer. I want to see. I want to see Morel again. He's fighting soon. I want to see Morel again. I'd probably a couple more fights. I think I'll pick Morel, but right now I'm not sure. To be honest, Big Baby isn't that good in my opinion. Doesn't have that punching power. Yeah, he seems to be a bit of a slapper. To be honest, he's athletic. He's quick, but he seems to be one of those fighters who relies a lot more on athleticism, more so than technical prowess. Whereas like Bakole does some good stuff in there. For a big heavyweight, one thing about Bakole, he shortens his punches really well. He's actually pretty good on the inside, to be honest. For a big lump. And he can really get on top of you. And he's got a good jab as well. I've got a feeling he's going to beat Anderson. Okay, so Dan Ige confirmed it. Ryan said he's making his debut, and Ryan's been posting his wrestling footage. Ryan also said he's been training with Pereira. Okay, that'd be crazy if that happens. I've not really read too much about it, their penance. We've heard about things like this happening before in boxing, though, and it's never really transpired. So I'll believe it when I see it. Is it good to have a monopoly, though? I don't know. Listen, I'm all for the Saudi experiments. Whatever happens, happens. We'll see how it pans out. We've had some good fights so far, so. Yeah, I'm not sold on Anderson. I'm not sold. And as I said, I think Bakole. Ooh, that's a test. I think the best way to describe Bakole is a big, horrible heavyweight. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, man? Okay, I saw a good theory that the Yanabek thing is a hoax, and the reason why the fight was pulled was because lots of money was coming in for over 5.5 rounds. So the bookies made the call. Interesting. I'll have to look into that myself. Is that on Twitter, those rumors? Yeah, that'll be a great fight at the pennant. Atalma versus Richard Torres. It's never going to happen, but that'll be a great fight between two prospects. Atalma's a more technical fighter. He's more naturally talented. What's your take? Chocolatito fights Takuma. If he wins, Chocker moves up to 122, fights in UA for a big payday, which would be an attempt at 6-weight world champions. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Why not? Like, I would, me personally, I would rather see him have one more title fight and call it a day regardless of result. If Stevenson does fight a free fight, if he signs a free fight deal with Matchroom, who do you see Eddie matching him with? Who have Matchroom got at 35? There's nobody there, right? Maybe they could match him at 140 with Liam Parrow. That could be a good fight. Maybe they could work with Golden Boy to make the Zapata fight happen. That's a good fight. Who else is there? Devin Haney, maybe, at 140. They're the fights I can think of, like right off the top. Kenwell, Sean O'Malley versus Merab and Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway is happening at the Sphere. I've got O'Malley by KO and Ilya by hard decision. I hope O'Malley loses, by the way. I don't like that guy, personally. But he's definitely got a good puncher's chance in that fight, no doubt. It's whether he can stop Merab's wrestling and that kind of grind set style he's got. Anderson leans back out the way of punches instead of moving side to side or away. I think that could cost him against Bakole, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. He relies on athleticism more so than technical ability. That's what I notice with Anderson. That's what I notice. I'm not convinced that the technical ability is quite there. I still think he needs more seasoning, to be honest. But fair play for taking this fight. I'm doing well, man. I do believe if Anderson Bakole is on a equal playing field, I got Bakole by early stoppage or mid-round KO, yeah. I've got Bakole if it's a proper fight. Yeah, bro, we never deserved to win that game. So I'm not too unhappy with it. It is what it is. Yeah, fucking O'Malley sucks. Yeah, that's true as well. If you're going to do that style, especially at heavyweight, you have to have that height and reach and dexterity as well. Vitaly Klitschko had it in abundance. He was very good at that lean back style. Hrgovic tries it as well, but he's nowhere near as athletic as Vitaly. If you watch like Hrgovic fight, he tries that style also, but he was nowhere near as athletic as Vitaly was. Me too. Grant, I've got a feeling that Bakole ragdolls him as well. Chocolatito only cares about money now. I think the route is the biggest payday. That route is the biggest payday for him, but also the most dangerous. Yeah, once he faces a new A, yeah, 100%, 100%. And even like Takuma, though, like it's not a foregone conclusion that he wins. Not right now, anyway. It's going to be an interesting fight, bro. It's going to be an interesting fight. Again, it's a test. It's a step up. So again, we're going to find out a lot more about Anderson after this fight, which is what we want to see, right? I'm doubting him, but if he proves me wrong, then fair play. It's what we want as boxing fans. I've got Ruiz on points. A dairy pennant. I've got Ruiz on points. I think that's the safe bet. I don't think either guy's going to knock each other out. Yeah, I get you. I'm still not convinced, to be honest, that the Lomachenko tank fight even happens. I'm not convinced it happens. Yeah, no, he's a very talented striker, Kenwell, but no doubt about it. Very languid and loose. Like he's a very good fighter. Very, very precise puncher as well. He's accurate, very accurate. Doesn't waste much. Doesn't waste much. He's got that wiry power because he can really crack. He can really crack. Probably, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, Grant, if that happens, if they rob him. That's a dangerous fight for Ortiz. Ortiz is much more skilled than Sergey Boashuk, but Boashuk is a puncher, man, and Ortiz can get involved. We saw that against Kavalauskas. We saw it against Maurice Hooker. Virgil Ortiz hasn't been active recently. I know he's had a couple of fights in quick succession, but they were one-round knockover jobs against blown-up welterweights and super lightweights at 154. Virgil hasn't had a serious fight since Kavalauskas. Boashuk's going to bring it. He's going to be there for round after round after round. He's not going to go over easily. Boashuk can punch. He's strong. He's aggressive. That's a hard fight for Virgil. That's a hard fight. I take Virgil, but it's a hard fight. Again, as replacements go, it's a good one because originally it was supposed to be Tim Tszyu. But as replacements go, it's a very good fight. A very good fight. Jalalov, he's a talented fighter, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced of him over a long course fight, a long distance fight. When he's made to work, I'm not convinced. He's got skills. He's got good movement from the southpaw stance. He's relatively quick, powerful, obviously. Good judge of distance. He's got a lot of talent, but I'm not convinced he makes that jump from amateur to pro. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. And the fact he's fighting in yet another Olympics is disappointing. He's already won a gold medal. What's the point? What's the point? Another Fury turned pro. Okay, fucking hell. What's that, like the fucking 8th one? Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think anybody's beating Nakatani in that weight class at bantamweight. I don't think anybody's beating him. I think he's too long, too strong, too good, too powerful. Lovely, lovely technical boxer. He creates space for himself really well to land that straight. Very good boxer, Junto Nakatani. Very good boxer. He kind of lulls you into like, I don't know, he lulls you into like not a false sense of security, that's the wrong word, but he kind of just has this manner of like control. He'll control a fighter. He'll gain control over him and just end it rapidly. He's a very good fighter. Might be like the next guy after Inoue. In fact, if you're looking at Japanese fighters right now, for me, he's the guy who is probably second best after Inoue, especially now Ioka's fallen, which again I wasn't surprised by. I wasn't surprised that Martinez beat Ioka. I think I said it on the stream before that I was going Martinez. And Martinez performed really well. He's another good fighter, man. Very good fighter. Yeah. Hrgovic is a bit like Andrade in that they were just too happy with that DAZN money. Obviously, Hrgovic took Zhang on, but they were both early signings and pretty happy with not risking. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I don't want to see Hrgovic again. He's done as far as I'm concerned. Don't really want to see him again. Not that he's had one loss and I'm writing them off. It's not that. It's the attitude. I agree. I'm not really sure he wants to box like that. I think he just does it because he makes money from it. I don't see Hrgovic as a serious threat anymore. You're not betting on Loma unless you see Turkey there. Might be a good idea, bro. Could be a good shout. Could be a sensible thing to do. I don't bet on fights anyway these days. Rarely. It's super rare. I don't remember the last time I bet on a fight, to be honest. Top 3 from Japan, Inoue, Nakatani, and Seiya. Who's that Japanese prospect I saw the other day who I liked the look of? Fuck, what's his name? There's a prospect I saw. Somebody recommended him to me, and I watched a couple of his fights, and I fucking forgot the name. I forgot his name. I'll find it I'll probably find it if I do a bit of fucking research. 1 second. There's a guy who I really liked the look of. There was another Murata I liked the look of. I think his name was Subaru Murata. He looked quite good. But it wasn't him. You mean Seigo, by the way? It might be Hayato. It might be Hayato. What weight division is he? It could possibly be him. Yeah, because I think it was the Anselmo Moreno fight I saw. Yeah, Joey Parker versus Caballero makes sense. Yeah, I'd like to see that fight as well. Yeah, he missed weight. Okay, yeah, I just saw that on BoxRec. I never knew that watching it, to be honest. So yeah, he missed weight. Okay, that's disappointing. But yeah, I think it was him. It was definitely him. Caballero's the dark horse. Yeah, I guess you would say that right now. I guess you would say that. Hopefully we see him in a good fight coming up. I wouldn't mind seeing him in there maybe with the winner of Joyce Chisora. That'll be a good fight because Joyce is going to win. I think Joyce Caballero would be a good fight. Caballero, Joe Parker. These are all good fights for him. Maybe the winner of Anderson and Bakole. There's a few fights out there for Caballero. He's not going to get a title shot anytime soon. So he's just got to stay active, hasn't he? He's just got to stay active. Bro, it's fucking hot here, by the way. It's sweating. Yeah, Zhang as well. Zhang Caballero was a great fight as well. Yeah, Chisora versus Joyce is it's a mismatch in my opinion. It's a mismatch, but he still gets licensed. But people are going to be crying in 5 years' time when this guy is like drooling or he has like CTE, manic-induced fucking psychosis. In 5 years' time, 10 years' time, people are going to be virtue signaling about how sad it is. But when you criticize that fight now, oh, you're being a hater, you're being negative, you're just hating on whoever, you're hating on somebody. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, bro, Carrington's got a lot to prove. He looks decent, don't get me wrong. He looks like a talented fighter, but bro, you can't put him and Inoue in the same sentence. If his desire to fight Inoue is real, fair play to him, but he's got to go to Japan. And I think that's going to end fucking badly. If I was him, if I was managing him, I would be just building him up, and if Inoue is still there in a year's time, so be it. But yeah, he needs a couple more fights, man. He needs a couple more fights. But I like the ambition if it's real. I like the ambition. But yeah, he needs to call it. Well, his fanboys need to call it. But there's always going to be people hyping people up. It is what it is. Shiraz does the basics very well, AMG. First, obviously, he's a big lump at the weight. He's tall and rangy. He's got a very good high guard. He's got a good jab behind that high guard. He's pretty good at maintaining distance. He's good at getting snap on the end of his punches and connecting on the end of his straight punches. Hamza Shiraz is a guy who he's tall, he's rangy, and he does the basics very well. I don't think Hamza Shiraz does anything brilliant, but if you're well-rounded and you've got size, you can go a long way just with that, especially in a weak division like middleweight. I would not be surprised if he picks up a title. Who does he remind me of? I'm not really sure, to be honest. But yeah, he's a good fighter, Shiraz. He's definitely a fighter who is certainly worth keeping an eye on, at least. Yeah, Ken Shiro's good as well, man. Yeah, Ken Shiro's he's good. When I first watched Ken Shiro fight, I'll be honest, I never really rated him that much. Before he became a champion, I'm talking. I never really rated him. But he's gone on to do really fucking well in his career. Yeah, I saw that interview. Yeah, so Usyk said that Chisora was the hardest puncher he's been in with. He said it felt like a baseball bat when he felt it on the gloves or on the arms. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Ball, man. People have got to put respect on Nick Ball's name. That guy's a good fighter, man. I've underrated that guy as well. Fair play to Nick Ball, man. That guy is a fun fighter, very fun fighter. And at featherweight, there's some good fights for him. Him versus Luis Alberto Lopez would be a war, by the way, an absolute war. Chisora loaded gloves confirmed. What's up, JD? How you doing, man? Yeah, it's not gonna be a long one. Yeah, Parker's is a great grind your career out kind of guy. I watched him go 12 rounds with a cruiserweight live and thought, fuck, really great turnaround. Yeah, man, listen. You look at what Joe Parker's done in his career. Yeah, he's lost fights, but you look at who he's fought. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Chisora, Joe Joyce, Wilder, Zhang, even a prime Carlos Takam. Fucking, he's fought good guys, man. He's fought really good guys. He's got a good resume of fighters. He's got a good resume. He's missing Usyk and Tyson Fury. That's about it, right? And yeah, that's about it, pretty much, more or less. He's won some, he's lost some, but he's a good fighter. Yeah, Nick Ball. Yeah, he came up on the like Liverpool shows. Yeah, he came up on those Liverpool shows. Who do you think goes undisputed at 126 featherweight? Out of all the fighters there right now, I think Espinoza has the best chance. But I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. Espinoza is so big. You talk about weight bullies, by the way. Rafael Espinoza is what, like 6 foot at featherweight? That's crazy. I'd say Espinoza's probably got the best chance of going undisputed in that weight class. I think Espinoza. I think Shiraz beats Adames. Adames is a bit overrated. And Nick Ball should be a unified champion. He beat Ray Vargas, in my opinion. Ray is overrated. I thought he lost to Magsayo as well. I don't rate Vargas. Vargas is all right. Vargas does a pretty good job of utilizing what he has, which is height and reach. But there's no X factor with Ray Vargas. He's just a tricky guy. He's a tricky fighter, but he can be overwhelmed. I thought the Magsayo fight was close from recollection. I haven't seen it since the time. And I felt the Nick Ball fight, a draw was fine, to be honest. But yeah, He's very beatable, Ray Vargas. What was the best weight class where Hearns looked his best? I'd say both 47 and 54. Should there be a height clause at each weight? 6 foot at 126 is too much. That's a great point, you know. That's a great point. But some people are. I mean, if you did a height fucking clause, it would have to be pretty extreme because there are extremities where certain people are tall but really skinny, like naturally. Do you know what I mean? So someone like Hamza Shiraz is 6'3", so he's taller than a lot of cruiserweights, but there's no way he's a cruiserweight boiling down kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a skinny guy. I know he's still a big middleweight, but what's your thoughts on Inoue skipping Akhmadaliev, fighting TJ Dehaney instead? Akhmadaliev's not even getting the fight after. Supposedly Sam Goodman is, duck or not. If he moves up without seeing him, it's a duck because Akhmadaliev is Mando, right? Pretty certain he's Mando. Yeah, he is Mando. He's Mando with one of the titles. The Dehaney fight fucking sucks. The Dehaney fight is terrible. Awful. Sam Goodman, fair enough. It's a Mando, no complaints. But you can't pick it. If you're going to fight Mandos, fight Akhmadaliev as well. And ultimately, Akhmadaliev is the most interesting fight available for him in that weight class right now. That's the most interesting fight. That's the most dangerous fight. And it's the funnest fight. So for him not to take it, we have to ask questions. We have to ask questions, you know, just because we like Inoue, we can't like brush it under the carpet. But I didn't have chance to talk about that in the video, but I haven't had much time recently, unfortunately. Been a little busy. But I wasn't even going to go live tonight. I just thought, fuck it, why not go live for an hour or so? Oh, shit, my bad. Top 5 most feather-fisted boxers of all time. Malignaggi's got to be in there. Paulie Malignaggi. I'd put Devin Haney in there in terms of active fighters, just because of like the fact that he's got such a size advantage on people and he still can't punch. So I'll put Devin Haney in there. Malignaggi. I don't even know, man. I don't know. Yeah, both Mandos. Okay, so yeah, there's no reason not to fight Akhmadaliev. No reason. Espen, I agree. I totally agree, Kenwell. Yeah, I think Inoue would destroy everyone. I don't know about destroy. I would pick him confidently over most, but the Espinoza fight's the hardest. I agree. Unlike Brandon Figueroa, who's very hittable, Espinoza is better than Figgy. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree. I think he's definitely the hardest fight. It's just because he's so big. He's so big. and he brings that pressure, brings that power as well. But he can be hurt, he can be dropped. As we saw against Ramirez. Good fighter, though. Well, saying that, he's a weight bully, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Jake LaMotta wasn't a big puncher. He was an attrition guy. Yeah, Otto Wallin is feather-fisted as a heavyweight. Yeah, 100%. He's what people. So Otto Wallin is what people tried to paint Usyk out to be. When people said Usyk was feather-fisted, Ask Tyson Fury if he's feather-fisted. Ask Chisora. Chisora was doing a stanky leg. Ask Dave Allen. Fucking Usyk made Dave Allen take a retirement. He came back, obviously, but like Otto Wallin is what people described Usyk as a heavyweight. Fucking feather-fisted. I agree, JD. I think Fundora might beat Errol at this stage. Shakur's feather-fisted. I don't quite know how feather-fisted he is, though, because he don't fucking throw punches. But he's definitely not a puncher, obviously. He's not a puncher. He's not a puncher. But yeah, I had my say on Shakur. Bored of it now. I'm not going to give Shakur any more thought until he has a fight booked, and we'll go from there. Julian Jackson versus Canelo. Canelo. If it's like the Canelo who fought Golovkin the second time, Canelo. I think Jackson unravels, man. I think he probably walks onto shots after a while. He'll try and take Canelo's head off. He's a massive puncher, but I think he'll miss and probably get caught. Jackson was a very good puncher, though. Very good puncher. One hit a quitter type power, that was. Nah, I didn't see. So I literally only saw the Boots Ennis fight. I didn't watch any other fight. For me, there was nothing worth watching. I'll be honest. Aside from like the Boots fight, there was nothing worth watching. I just couldn't. I couldn't watch the Tevin Farmer fight. Couldn't watch it. Just don't want to watch it. And yeah, the Hackett fight. I've heard a bit of hype for Hackett, but it's very early. He's had like 8-9 fights, right? So I think he won the fight, though. Did he not? What's up, Wayne? How you doing? Some of the MSM are playing the diversity card for England losing already. Silly, yeah. But to be honest, England won England won one and only their one and only final while being English. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, bro. People can't separate politics and sports now. It's fucking annoying. It's crazy. They fucking try to interject it into everything. It's crazy. You didn't check out Miss Nicholson? No, I didn't. Eddie Hearn, I'm sure, did after the fight, though. He gave her a post-fight rub-down, allegedly. The drunk beer belly Fury fangirls are crying now. That's the positive. I agree, Mohammed. I agree. We can agree on that, man. We can totally agree. Usyk winning was better for boxing. Finally, one of these prima donnas gets fucking whooped. And there's no way they can take it away from Usyk. No like fake drug scandals or anything like that. He's got fucking whooped, and I loved it. Okay, yeah, he won, but could have been easier. Okay, so yeah, probably the inexperience showing. I'll check him out. I've heard a lot of hype for him, Jalil Hackett. Yeah, I've heard a lot of hype about him, but I've not really checked him out, to be honest. Wilder versus Bakole right now, you'd probably go Bakole, to be honest. You'd probably go Bakole. Apparently, he's fighting again, though, Wilder. He wants to fight. He wants to continue. Yeah, he done it in... He dropped the IBF in probably the best way possible, that guy. Anthony Daniel. Yeah, it's fucking funny. I kind of want Usyk to retire. Yeah, Rio Ferdinand is what he is, though, man. Rio's a clown, honestly. Rio's a clown. Great player in his day, but a fucking idiot. I think Wilder is just done Eddie pennant. I think Wilder is just done. I don't think it really mattered whether it was Malik Scott or fucking they could have resurrected Angelo Dundee. I don't think it really mattered with Wilder towards the end. Malik Scott gets a lot of criticism, but I think Wilder was always going to go down that route regardless of trainer once he got beat by Fury. I think this was always the way, to be honest. I know I'm not saying Malik's a great trainer or anything like that, but I don't think Wilder learns much from here on out, or from like the Fury fight onwards. WBC, I think. Hand history vault, WBC. Who is WBC? Yeah, Bakole is WBC champion at Bridgerweight. I don't think Wilder beats Bakole, to be honest. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he landed a couple of shots against Zhang that got a little bit too overconfident, walked into that right hook, spun him around and got knocked out. Yeah. Yeah, that was It's kind of funny how Wilder's lost all these fights now. Like he lost both fights in Saudi Arabia when there was a level playing field. It's kind of interesting that when he doesn't have like a promoter backing him up, he loses both fights. Funny that. And they'll try and paint it out like Deontay Wilder's this old man. Yeah, he is old in terms of like what is he, 37? So yeah, he's kind of old. He's kind of old, but like you look at him fight, he looks like the exact same guy. This was always for real Wilder. Maybe the confidence isn't there anymore. I'll give you that, but physically, I don't think Wilder's really fallen off that much. He looks like the same guy to me. He looks like he's got the same speed. He moves the same. He reacts the same. It's the same Wilder. It's the same Wilder. I don't know. I don't think Wilder's physically shot like people are saying he is. I just think this is his level, and now he's being exposed now that he's finally fighting like top competition. I think that's it with Wilder. I really think that's it. The only thing I will say, the confidence is definitely a factor. Wilder's definitely not as confident as he once was, and that does make a difference. But physically, Wilder's the same guy, in my opinion. Bakole knocking out Wilder at Bridgerweight would be like Danny Williams knocking out Tyson. I wouldn't go that far, man. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, he's always been arse, I agree. Stewart could train with Wilder and he'd still be shit. He's had way too much of an ego to be told what's best. I agree. He's still being shown how to throw a basic 1-2 combination. Yeah. And also, you go back in time as well, the soft matchmaking, even when he was a champion, none of that helped him in the long run develop and get better because he never had to get better. I said it at the time. I'm pretty certain I said it at the time. It was after the Luis Ortiz 2 fight. And Wilder was asked a question post-fight about him losing all those rounds. And Wilder's response was, I only have to be perfect for 2 seconds. That goes to show the problem with Deontay Wilder. That's literally, he thought that was all he had to do. He never had any intention of getting better. He didn't think he had to get better. He felt he had enough. Wilder was never going to get better. He was never going to get better because of his attitude. He had the physical dimensions, he had the speed, whereas like if he had his head screwed on his fucking shoulders, he could have got better, but he never shown that ambition to get better because he was too arrogant. Way too arrogant. And he's been found out. He's been found out. This has always been Wilder's level. What you're seeing now is he's just fighting better fighters and he's fighting on a level playing field. And all of a sudden, he doesn't look so menacing, does he? Wilder, I maintain what I said. Wilder's been one of the greatest cases of fraud in boxing for many, many years. Many, many years. But he never throws a lot of punches, JD. He's never thrown a lot of punches, Wilder. There's been rounds in fights where he's barely thrown a punch. Yeah, the profile pic's funny, isn't it? The profile pic is funny. Again, I don't buy that either. I don't buy the fact that, or the narrative that Wilder took something out of Fury. Fury's definitely slowed down, I will say that, but Fury took it out of himself by not living the life. Said it after, I said it leading into the Usyk fight. I said I saw the signs in the Chisora third fight. And, I didn't even reference the Ngannou fight. I said, look at the Chisora fight. It's clear Fury slowed down a bit. Although he actually impressed me in the Usyk fight, Fury, for a few rounds. He impressed me, but he couldn't maintain it. He couldn't maintain it. And that's going to be Fury's trouble in a rematch is he knows he can have success against Usyk. He knows he's got the reach, the length, and the movement to trouble Usyk, which he did in the first fight. But can he do that for 12 rounds? That is such an ask. It's such an ask. So if I was Tyson Fury, what I'd be doing is basically revolving my whole fucking camp around cardio. Obviously still doing your sparring and whatnot, but I would really resolve my whole camp around sparring. Cardio, sorry. I'd be really working on that cardio because that's what Fury needs. He needs to improve the stamina in that rematch. If he has a lot better stamina in a rematch, he can win. He can win. But I think that's what let him down in that fight. I don't think he realised how hard Usyk makes you work. I really don't. Yeah, they were heavy knockdowns, but still. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the. Maybe it's not. I don't know where he should weigh in at, but maybe it's not even the weight necessarily, but just train for cardio, and what he comes in at, kind of thing. You know, just focus on cardio, and whatever the weight is, you know. I wouldn't even be focusing on trying to lose weight by design. If it falls off, it falls off. I'd purely be working on cardio as like the main focus of camp. Sparring second. Yeah, I think about 250 is perfect for Joshua. JD. I think it's perfect. When is that Joshua fight? It's that September, right? Still a couple of months away. I am looking forward. I can't lie. I am looking forward to Joshua Dubois. It's weird though. Sometimes I think about it and I think Dubois is going to get slept early. I'm not going to lie. Like after watching that Hrgovic fight back, if that's Joshua throwing those right hands, it's probably over early. I kind of want to see Dubois just go in there and go for it straight from round one. He might get knocked out early, but maybe he catches Joshua. I think that could be a firefight. It could be a firefight. If Dubois comes out all guns blazing, that could be a firefight. Should be a good one. Yeah, 100%. People don't realise how cunning Usyk is with the rounds he has off. Makes you think you're winning, uses up your energy, then moves up a gear. That's some Chad levels of mad lad he's got going on. Yeah, bro, that's the thing though, Wayne. So you know when when Fury was winning those rounds, so he was kind of styling on Usyk in rounds 4, 5, and 6, right? Usyk kind of just took the high guard and walked forwards. But look at the foot pressure he was applying on Fury. He wasn't throwing many punches, but again, he was making Fury work hard. And although Fury won the rounds, it took a lot out of him. I think Usyk approaches it as a 12-round fight. He kind of plans for the second half almost, you know? And, you know, contending with that guy's fucking movement, the feints, the level changes, the different angles, decent punch output, that shit's a nightmare, especially when you're a bigger, heavier guy. Again, I think now, like, as you guys know, I'm not the biggest AJ fan, but that's why I never really understood the criticism for Joshua in that second fight. I felt Joshua did as good as he could have done, to be honest, against Usyk. I actually felt he fought a pretty good fight, to be honest. I think a lot of people haven't realised how good Usyk is, to be honest, Wayne. I think a lot of people haven't realised how good he is. Now, I've got Ruiz on points, but I can see your point, man. Ruiz hasn't fought in a minute, like 2 years. Whereas Big Baby's been more active. And if he goes in there with output, you never know. You never know. It could be, JD. It could be a 4-round firefight. I think it's this is how I'll describe that fight. I think it's a fight Joshua should win, but I think it's a dangerous fight. Yeah, he's definitely the cardio king, man. Usyk. But yeah, hopefully that rematch happens without a hitch, and we see it. How long have you thought Wilder was a fraud? Forever, to be honest. Big Baby Ruiz loses against diabetes. I think they have it already, bro. I think they have it already. Yeah, that was the funniest thing about that face-off with Joshua and Dubois, when Dubois just goes, "You can't intimidate me. Who do you think you are?" It's fucking hilarious, man. I'm looking forward to that fight, though. I think that'll be a good fight. It'll be a fun fight. I'll be shocked if that's a boring fight. I'll be shocked. Yeah, I think that's what it was as well. I don't think he could come to terms with the fact that he worked so hard, yet he was still second best. And he was second best by a distance as well. But still, I thought he fought a good fight. I felt he did as good as he could have done. And yeah, I felt the second fight was much more enjoyable as well. First fight was just a pure schooling, in my opinion. Second fight was more competitive. I think I had the first fight 9 rounds to 3 for Usyk, and the second fight 8 rounds to 4. I know it's only a 1-round difference, but I felt Joshua looked a lot more threatening throughout. in the second fight. Yeah. The Dubois Joshua face-off was funny. Watching Alexander's two sons talk tough. Yeah. It's funny as fuck. I'm going to try and make it to the AJ versus Dubois fight. I've seen Usyk Dubois in Poland. Inoue versus Neri in Tokyo, where I work. Inoue is insane when you see him fight in person. I can't imagine. That must have been such a great experience. That must have been such a great experience. Yeah, 100%, Max. 100%. He beat Fury. He beat AJ. He beat Dynamite Daniel Dubois. Do you mean Oshaki Foster? Hand history vault. Oshaki, do you mean? I've not seen that fight still with Robson Conte Sao. I've not seen that fight. But yeah, I liked Oshaki. I thought he was okay for an American fighter. There's a lot of American fighters I don't like. I've liked his recent fights prior to that Robson fight, like the fight in Mexico he had, the fight prior as well. He's had some good fights recently. But yeah, I need to watch that Robson fight still. I heard he got robbed, but I'm not going to say that until I watch it, to be honest. But he can come again. He can come again. He's one of the few American fighters I like. To be honest. But, Robson's had some bad luck, right? So maybe he was due one. Sorry, my bad. It was a boring fight, but I think Foster won 10 rounds. Damn. Yeah, I'll have to watch it. So yeah, I was at Inoue versus Neri, about eight rows away from ringside. Those shots he lands could be heard, nasty. Usyk hits really hard too. That power jab that put Dubois down was more like a power shot. Yeah, I'd love to watch Inoue in the flesh. I should have really watched him when he fought in Scotland, but that was the only opportunity I had. So I'm not going to travel to it. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of people throw him under the bus. Like, he's had some good fights, Foster, man. I'm not going to write him off. I've heard, yeah, so apparently it was a boring fight, but he's given us some good fights as well. So I'm not going to write Oshaki Foster off just yet. I'm not going to write him off. Because the Hernandez fight was excellent. Really, really good fight. The Nova fight was pretty good as well, man. And his performance against Ray Vargas was good. He had a good little run. Retirement, JD. Retirement. I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. It's a short one. It's 11:30. I've got work tomorrow. Well, I'm working from home, but yeah, still got work. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'll try and get another stream done in the week, though. I'll try and get another one done in the week. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Peace out. Have a good one. Have a great rest of your weekend, wherever you are, and have a great week. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.